How many people are still watching this shit? Jesus. Let's see. 40,000 people. Wow, that is sad. You guys really, truly need to go outside and throw a ball around. We need to take that advice I've continued to share over the years. Go outside and throw a ball around. Here's a good one. 1463. Hi, Moot. After testifying the David Kernel trial, did you ever consider just shutting 4chan or shutting down 4chan? For those who don't remember, I testified in United States v. David Kernel, who was the Sarah Palin email hacker back in, was that 2010? And there's some pretty funny transcript that came as a result of that. And it was quite the experience. I mean, it's the first time I've ever had to appear in a courtroom like that and give testimony as a fact witness for the prosecution. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunately, I mean, I basically said, they were like, hey, we want to talk to you about this. And I said no. And then I had an assistant U.S. attorney more or less threaten me by saying, you can't say no because we will use the tools at our disposal to compel you to talk to us. As it turns out, you more or less cannot choose to not testify in a case where, you are, basically subpoenaed as a fact witness. And so, I begrudgingly kind of went along with it, and I mean, it was relatively painless. I mean, it was really just pretty straightforward. Again, you look at the transcript, it's actually really hilarious because they're like, what's a 4chan? What's a meme? What's an OP? What's an old fag? what was it? Caps? Like that was one of the questions they asked. And then the cross-examination was like, what's Rickroll? It's a joke. It was really funny. Yeah, so, I mean, I didn't think about shutting down 4chan after that, but it was a huge pain in the ass. I mean, I had to fly down there on the government's dime. It actually really highlighted kind of government waste. I mean, they basically booked me a full fare ticket at the last minute. And so they spent thousands of dollars flying me down there because trials are so, in terms of the timing of who testifies and when. It's, if they, maybe the government should open up their own airline so they can save all this money. They can, piss away a lot of money just to save money transporting witnesses around. But that was a huge pain in the ass, and I hope that, and I guess I look forward to not, again, being legally responsible anymore, so I never have to do that again, because that was just a giant pain in the ass for, it was very, again, eye-opening. It was an insight into a system that I've thankfully not had much experience with, the legal system, but it was, I wouldn't say it got me close to shutting down 4chan. It was really just a pain in the butt. What buzzword are you most fed up being called now? Faggot, Jew, or cuck? 1475. I mean, they're all good. It's all good. I don't think I'm fed up with that with any of them. I look forward to whatever the next one will be, though. I hope it's a little more creative. Is it bad that my cutie pie left me earlier this week? But this news made me more sad. 1483. No, man, there are a lot of feels. It's 10 years worth of feel. I totally get that. I hope that you meet a new cutie pie, or you get back together with your old one, though. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure R9K is now seething that I suggested that somebody date somebody, a 3D, or A is upset that I just kind of implicitly endorsed dating 3D PD, but to each their own. This was a lot of questions. I've covered some of these, but 1531 said, how much of your retirement is based on the negative impact of 4chan in your career and personal life? It's really not. Again, it has a lot to do with. I mean, certainly those things don't help, but again, this is something that's been in the works for a long time. is part of your retirement so that you've kind of presented to be bored by certain aspects of the 4chan user base? Again, no. I mean, I really, I think now is definitely the time to take a step back, because I have, again, very positive feelings. I'm at this kind of moment of zen of sorts, and just supreme contentment, satisfaction, positivity. Again, I really, going back to my advice earlier, if you feel these negative emotions, especially about strangers on the internet or people who God forbid, they disagree with you, you will prolong your life in terms of your blood pressure and heart rate by controlling those emotions and choosing to invest that energy in more productive ways other than being, angry at other people. So I've, reached a point in my life at, my late 20s where I really, again, just try to just have the capacity to feel good things rather than bad things. So, and again, I really, the vast majority of things that I have to think about 4chan are very positive. I mean, it's been, again, it's been such an incredible ride. It's been, such a privilege and an honor, and just, the experience of a lifetime. And so I really, sure, there have been these kind of lows, and, it's been peaks and valleys, and there have been some, negative things, and, over the past 10.5 years, controversies, with external kind of parties, kind of people picking on 4chan and saying it was bad, or, internally people disagreeing with some, action that I, or, the kind of the moderators took on my behalf. But, for the most part, again, I just remember the good things, and there were so many good things. And so, I don't resent the community at all. Again, I use the boards every day, and so I'd be pretty sad if I didn't like the people. What do you do for money? I've been working part-time this past year. Before that, I was self-employed, or not self-employed, but I was, I was the founder and CEO of a venture-backed startup, and that's how I paid the bills. And then prior to that, I was in college, and I just kind of worked odd jobs, part-time jobs. I've worked retail. Working retail is actually one of the best experiences I've ever had. I mean, it was really eye-opening in that sense. I mean, I think some of my crappiest jobs have been my best in the sense that, again, you learn a lot from working long hours and not getting paid that much, and especially customer service kind of oriented positions where you deal with a customer. I mean, that was, running a register and dealing with customers on a daily basis was actually, it was a great experience. Even if, I got paid like $7 an hour. Will you go back to school? I don't know. Do you have any plans for other websites and companies? No, again, the one project that I've kind of been noodling on is, who says noodling these days? I hope other people say it besides me. I use noodling quite a bit. The one idea that I have is kind of more of an open source project than anything. To what extent do you think government agencies monitor 4chan? I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, given the revelations of Snowden, I mean, I'm sure there's probably some alphabet agency listening to this right now. I'm just going to go on YouTube, so obviously it'll be public. But it's hard to know. I wouldn't doubt. I mean, 4chan is all, again, it's anonymous. You're anonymous to one another, but it's all public, and so we do get inquiries sometimes from law enforcement about. The funny thing is, it's not that they see it themselves; it's that people actually submit, which is good. I mean, again, if there's a threat of of serious injury or death against somebody, it's good that people report these. Again, you shouldn't. I've said this a long time. You're an idiot if you post anything illegal to /B. You're just a complete fucking idiot. If you think that you can get away with that, and posting a school shooting threat or whatever, it's just, again, it's a one-way ticket to landing in jail, because those actually do get reported by users. I mean, users see them and they go to tips.fbi.gov or ic3.fbi.gov, or they call their local law. I mean, they submit them, and then law enforcement comes to us and says, hey, we heard about this shooting threat. So again, terrible idea. I don't know if that means they're monitoring 4chan. I don't get the sense that that they do. I mean, again, maybe the NSA is using our API, or FBI or whoever is scraping our API, which is all, again, public information, and data mining that. I don't know. I mean, I think there are probably better things they could be spending their time on, but it's impossible for me to know. Would you seriously consider an offer to buy 4chan? If so, what might your stipulations to this offer be? Again, I have no idea what's going to happen in terms of the long-term ownership. I mean, my best, my hope is that, again, it goes to an individual. I mean,